Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two main subjects for this video. First, we are going to analyze and try to figure out who did and who didn't possibly destroy the unfortunate children's hospital in Kiev. So the biggest hospital in Kiev, children's hospital in Kiev, was hit by a missile. Everybody on the free world claims it's the Russians, obviously, and we're going to analyze what kind of rocket they say or missile the Russians used. And then we're going to analyze if it's possible, probable, and I have about 8 articles to discuss and try to find out who's kind of lying here. Kind of lying, because, you know, they all lie. So the first thing is this with the children's hospital, and the other topic is the Ukrainians want to negotiate with the Russians, and they want to find the mediators that will communicate the Russians their demands or conditions for peace settlement. And as an extra would be the world's hypocrisy versus, between what's going on with this children's hospital, for instance, which is awful, whomever destroyed it. And the other thing is some other kind of hospital in Gaza. And we're going to see reactions or lack of reactions. Let's start with the first thing, with the awful a missile attack on a children's hospital in Kiev. I will have NBC News start the certainty. Remember, this just happened a few hours ago. They already know who did it, all right? They already know who did it. It is not, they claim, could be, might be, something like, no, it's clear. And for these guys, after such a short period of time, they know exactly who destroyed that, and it is the Russians. NBC News, and I will show you that's kind of like pick and choose. Children's hospital hit as Russian missiles, plural, kill dozens in Ukraine. All right, that's the article. This is from yesterday, July 8, 2024. So remember, Kiev, Ukraine, Russian missiles rained down on a renowned children's hospital in Kiev and through the capital. I think it's through the capital, as well as central and eastern Ukraine. Now, things to remember. Kiev, location of Kiev, where they have patriots. I will show you an article where they claim that since May, no Russian missile was able to hit anything in Kiev. But all of a sudden, the Russians hit this hospital with a missile, I will break the news, subsonic missile. But the Patriot destroys the Kinzhals, the dagger, which is hypersonic missile, not subsonic missile. Subsonic missile is below the speed of sound, which is about what, 800 kilometers per hour or so. And Kinzhals are Mach, 7 or 8 times that. That's the main point where I don't believe it. But anyway, here it is. Is it possible? Yes. Probable? I have many doubts. There we go. Let's see. So they destroyed a missile destroyed, or more missiles rained down, because it says Russian missiles rained down, and it says here the Russian missiles killed. So the hospital was hit by at least 2, because it's plural. That's the first article. Next one, the new voice of Ukraine. Remember, this happened yesterday, and already we know this is already the articles came immediately. They know who did it. You know who knows who did it? The Russians, or at least the Ukrainians know, and the Russians know them, and the Americans. They know for exactly who did it. Exactly, all right? Russia, and this is the new voice of Ukraine, deliberately targeted Okhmadit hospital, report says. The Russians claim that that hospital had caring for military personnel, and they had over there troops and ammunition. This is what the Russians claim. Can I verify that? No. Is it possible? 100%. Is it probable? Well, yes and no. I don't know, 50%, let's put it that way, with probability. So it says here, as the massive missile strike on the capital occurred in broad daylight, my friends, numerous eyewitnesses recorded the impact with their phones. One high-quality video shows an intact missile, easily identifiable as a KH-101 by its silhouette, striking Okhmadit with the audible sound of working jet engine of the missile. Jet engine? If you have a jet engine, that's not subsonic. All right, but nevertheless, maybe it's something that is, because I will show you. I remember KH-101, that's the missile. Experts agree that all evidence indicated the Russian used the KH-101 air-launched cruise missiles. Okay, all right, move on. Next article. Fox News. Again, this is from yesterday. Russian missiles, plural, hit children's hospital in Kiev as Ukrainian President Zelensky vows retaliation. Remember, these guys dig their shithole deeper and deeper by claiming that KH-101, which is impossible, is capable of hitting Kiev. And I will destroy everything, all this, with the bragging of these guys saying that since May, the Patriot systems destroyed every Kinzhal. Remember, it's like you have a toddler shooting the ball at you, or you have, I don't know, Ronaldo, let's say, no, Roberto Carlos. You know, Roberto Carlos from Brazil hitting his ball, one of his two, towards you. Now, and I block all Roberto Carlos balls, no problem, all of them. But the toddlers, which is a KH-101 compared with Roberto Carlos kick, man, not one, at least two, because it's missiles, at least two, man, they score, the toddler scores. You can't be a world champion in track and field if you don't even know how to stand up or walk. All right, next one. Next article comes from the Daily Beast. How now Putin is attacking Ukraine's biggest children's hospital. They know. It's not like could, may, what? No, it's Putin. Putin on the bear with a missile ready to go. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Russia seeks to shift blame for attack on Okhmadit Children's Hospital. And this is from Institute for the Study of War. So they know. The Institute of the Study of War, the Washington, D.C., with Miss Keegan. She is the sister-in-law of Victoria Nuland through their husbands, okay? That's a corporation of, through the husband. She is the director of the Institute for the Study of War. So bye-bye, don't believe squat what these guys are saying. Even when they tell the truth, I can't believe it. The child who cried wolf too many times. So Russian officials and propagandists, right, have been trying to absolve themselves of responsibility for 8th of July attack on Okhmadit Children's Hospital. Russian officials and information channels are trying to deflect blame for the attack on Children's Hospital by promoting false narratives about the missiles used and the condition of the hospital, which contradicts the evidence that Institute for the Study of War has, because Institute for the Study of War has people right there and they know. All right. They get it from the Ukrainians. The Ukrainian Center of Countering Disinformation highlighted on 9th of July that Russia propaganda is spreading misleading claims to divert responsibility from Russia. Okay, maybe. And it says here that these include claims that Ukraine was using the hospital for treating injured soldiers, storing missiles there, or that the Ukrainian air defense missile, rather than a Russian one, was responsible for the strike. And I think they said it was something. And it says a Russian KH-101, remember, cruise missile hit the children's hospital in central Kiev during a wider series of missile strikes targeting critical Ukrainian infrastructure throughout the day on 8th of July. Got that? Remember, center of Kiev, defended like crazy, right? Because Zelensky's time is over there. Then you got what? And it's perfect Patriot systems. And then is the KH-101 subsonic missile. Next article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. Security Service of Ukraine finds new evidence confirming that Russia hit the hospital with KH-101 missile, and they're going to show us pictures. Right there, you see? That's the evidence, 101. Right? It's right there, 101, my friends. All right, I'm not saying it's impossible. I told you that many, many times already. and tell us what they found. Now let's look at this 101, KH 101. You can go on your own, right there. You see that KH 101? And right in the first paragraph, and I'm reading, KH 101, Russian X 101, NATO reporting name AS 23 Kodiak, is a Russian subsonic air-launched cruise missile. So it's the toddler's kick, right? Subsonic, it's not supersonic, it's not even hypersonic. And please note right here, that Russian subsonic. All right, that's good. Good with that. All right, next article, because that's gonna bite them in the balls. Ukraine's U.S. Patriot systems. This is an article from 4 days ago. I made a video where I incorporated this piece of information because I was like, okay, yeah. Ukraine's U.S. Patriot systems downed every Russian quote-unquote Dagger missile. Right here. This is from the Newsweek. It's not from the Russian propagandist or Emil Kosman, okay? And it says, Ukraine's air forces claim that U.S. Patriot systems has intercepted every Dagger missile since May, June, July, right? 3 months continuously. Can it happen that this was a mistake and they just dropped at least 2 balls in the center of Kiev with 2 subsonic missiles? No, I think it's impossible. Not impossible, 99.9. Right here. So let's see. Remember, the Patriot systems are located mainly in Kiev. That's why they want more, so they can put it in other locations around Ukraine. So they will have this beautiful dome that will have no Russian missiles capable of penetrating it. That's what it is. All right. So let's see what else. What else is? And they says Dagger. The Dagger is the Kinzhal. This is called Dagger. Okay. The Kinzhal 47M2 Kinzhal. That is the one that this guy said they destroyed, and you see it right here. It says Dagger NATO pop. So that's the one that is launched using the MiG-31. That's the one who carries the Dagger, and that is, and I'm reading the first sentence. The KH-47M2 Kinzhal, Russian X-47M2, lit. Dagger, NATO reporting name AS-24 Killjoy, is a Russian hypersonic air-launched ballistic missile. Hypersonic. All right, and it has an estimate pip. And let's see, hypersonic. Hypersonic, right here. It says a hypersonic weapon is a weapon capable of traveling at hypersonic speed, defined as between 5 and 25 times of speed of sound. Got that? I was nice saying between 7, right? So there is 1 to 5 miles per second, right? Hypersonic speed. There you have it. It says here 5 Mach 5 or above. So spare me. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a KH-101 and they destroy all the daggers. Okay, Roberto Carlos, I block all your shots, but the toddlers, I'm incapable. All right, now reactions. I will show you the hypocrisy of the West. Not that I need to show you again, but it's too obvious and it's embarrassing. Embarrassing for us who consider ourselves free people in the free world. This is not free world. This is a very much controlled world with the baboons. Very, very ignorant mass of people, like always, more or less. And then you can sell them any kind of garbage you want, like this one right here. Ukrinform, German ambassador on massive shelling of Ukraine, and I'm quoting, this is Russia's desire for peace. Now you're going to put this in the same context of Gaza. Why? Because I'm going to use an article. So today's missile attack on Ukraine, which also damaged a children's hospital in Kiev, is evidence of Russia's desire for peace. He's not even questioning, wait, was it this or that? Or was it the Russians, or maybe it was an accident? When things like this happen in Gaza, remember that they say, well, wait a little bit, we don't know, that's contested by or disputed by the IDF and so on. Here, no dispute, just straight, they already know. Now remember, this is the German garbage. Now we're gonna look at Biden. Biden reacts not even a day. Biden reacts according to Ukrainska Pravda, reacts to Russian missile strike on Ukraine, strengthening air defense and meeting with Zelensky. They're going to meet. All right, so he is very, very upset. And it says, Biden said the Russian missile strikes on Monday, 8 July, which killed dozens of Ukrainian civilians and damaged Kiev, largest children's hospital, are a horrific reminder of Russia's brutality and our peace-loving troops in Syria illegally deployed and in other places on this planet. Now, I don't defend whatsoever the attack. I mean, I don't support and I condemn, obviously, every attack on civilians and especially on children and the people more vulnerable. It is what it is. It happens left and right. I don't want to, absolve anybody. It's not my job. But I can't pretend, and I can't play dumb and say, that's the way it is. But do you remember when Ukraine attacked Crimea, a land, an area they want to get back? They attacked with Storm Shadow missiles, and one of them was hit in the air, they diverted, and killed some Russian and killed and injured, including children, Russian sunbathers. People on the Black Sea. They were out for a swim, or remember? Do you remember what Mr. Podolyak said about it? There could be no people in Crimea doing that. That's what he said. Why? Because we are at war. You can't be having fun in the Crimean Peninsula. And he talks about the people he tries to liberate. What do you think the Ukrainians, let's say NATO, will do if they are able to liberate Crimea with this kind of attitude? I think they will purge the whole freaking peninsula. And I don't think, I'm 99.9 certain. And now let's go to another guy who condemns something, because we find this in Sputnik, we don't find it in the free world's press. Sputnik, this is 11 hours ago. European Union's Borrell, who is the foreign minister of the European Union, all right, condemns Israeli strike on UNRWA, United Nations RWA, school in Gaza. Have you heard anybody else? The German fucker? Or about the idiot guy that doesn't know where he's at, Biden? Yet nobody. But Borrell condemns. He's not saying anything like, hey, you guys are this and that, like they attach a certain word to the Russians. They will never do that in this case. Why? Who knows who and who owns who? All right. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell condemned an Israeli strike on the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, school in the Nuseirat refugee camp. I'm listening, Germany. So I don't like this kind of hypocrisy, and I'm not supporting this kind of hypocrisy coming from the free world. So that's why when I hear Biden saying, or the Germans, or the Brits, or the French, for me is, yeah, I want you to use the same standard there. And they will be like, where is it? Oh, right here. That's what they do. Exactly. On Sunday, the Gaza Health Ministry said, it's a lie, right? In a statement obtained by Sputnik, that the Israeli strike on the school killed 16 people, injuring 50 others. All right, so that's the way it's over there. But these guys now, Israel claimed that it was targeting terrorists in the attack. So that's exactly what the Russian says. No, we are actually attacking. We attacked that because they had missiles over there and they're treating prisoners, injured and so on. But hey, you believe these ones, I guarantee you, but not those ones. Why? Because we are fair. We are the free world. We're just cause, just us, right? I mean, let's go now to the last issue, which is Kiev. This is according to Big News Network. Now, this article, I got to this article through a Russian article where I found, I'm going to read that one first, comes from Sputnik, and it has to do with Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of the Russian Federation. Ukraine would not have hit Sevastopol, the incident I was telling you about, the crime, whatever, without US's direct participation. Russian Foreign Minister Mr. Lavrov. And it says, Ukraine missiles would not have hit Russian cities, including Sevastopol, without direct US involvement in targeting, and Moscow will respond in the foreseeable future. Is this in Kiev? I wonder. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Sunday, today is Tuesday, without the direct involvement of the United States in the targeting and processing of satellite data, these missiles would not have gone anywhere. As for our response, the Russian president said we will respond, and I'm sure you'll hear about it in the foreseeable future, Lavrov told Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin. Now, I'm not saying it's justified, you kill these guys, I kill your guys like that. You kill my civilians, I kill your civilians. No, that's not the way it works. I mean, it shouldn't work, but as I mentioned, there's no such a thing except one moral army in the world. They're all, Anyway, so I'm going to go to the last part, and here is what I said. This drew me attention to the article. I looked at that article and I found it. Speaking about possible settlement, Moscow will evaluate Kiev's concrete steps towards resolving the Ukraine conflict rather than base its policy on neighbors' inconsistent statements, Lavrov said. I said, what statements? On Saturday, the day before, then Sunday, Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said that Kiev was ready to hand over its settlement proposal to Russia via third parties. Got that? They're ready. And I'm quoting Mr. Lavrov. He can just as well say the opposite tomorrow. We will count on concrete steps. Action speaks louder than words. That's what he says. Appreciate and evaluate only concrete steps, Lavrov told Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin. And I checked to find, I'm not going to use only Lavrov's statement because I don't think it's, people might misquote something, will lie, even though Lavrov has, But anyway, so that's why I looked at the Big News Network and I found this one from the 7th of July 2024. Kiev issues demands to potential mediators with Russia. And this is Podolyak right there. And let me read you one paragraph, one sentence. It says here, Ukraine is ready to convey its conditions for peace negotiations with Russia through third parties, but potential mediators must align their public statements with Kiev position. So that means you want your boys. That's not going to be objective. And the Russians will not accept that. And he says, Vladimir Zelensky's top aide, Mikhail Podolyak, has said. So if you want that, why wouldn't you grant the Russians the same right to want their boys? I don't know, like, let's say Belarus. I want Belarus to be. Why only your guys? That tells me you don't trust the Russians. What reasons have the Russians to trust you when you're doing the bidding of, you know what I mean, Al Capone and the interests who are actually harnessing and controlling Al Capone? So here it is, my friends. A lot of information here. Who hit the? I would give you an Putin answer. Mr. Putin, what happened to that submarine? It sank. That was Putin's answer, and when he was a prime minister, I think, and he was at the time prime minister, in front of that Jewish old guy who died. He was in what's his name? Man, I can't remember. Like a little fox with glasses, and I can't remember his name. He said, "Mr. Putin, what happened to that submarine that sank?" And Putin said, "It sank." The same here. What happened to that school? Who hit it? And I say, well, it was hit by a missile, because that's what we know. And the rest is just going to dissipate. It's going to be propaganda on all sides. And the victims, people like you, people like me, and even worse, our children. But hey, we're going to be hurt by all this garbage in Ukraine, because our children will pay for all the loans your government, our governments take from the international banking system to support someone else that will buy weapons from these guys here, which are not governmental institutions, are private arms manufacturing companies. Got that? It's not hard to figure out who are the profiteers in all this and who are the suckers. Do you own a mirror? I own one right there. I can look and say and tell you exactly who the sucker will be, and our children and grandchildren. Why? These guys print money, make money from nothing, and they also tax us. But if you, as someone said, if you can print money I think it was I can't remember his name, that president from Central America who fixed the problem with that gang MS-14, I think. I can't remember his name. I like the guy very much. I can't remember his name. He said, well, if you can print as much money you want, then why do you collect taxes? And I was like, yeah, I think that's yeah. Why do you collect? Why do you make us go through all this garbage of you take my taxes, I find my taxes, you come and check me, you fine me, you hurt me, you arrest me if I don't pay, if nothing like that. But then you print as much money as you want. What's the need to go through this lie? It's the illusion that this works like that. When you can print as much money as you want, what do you need my taxes for? Oh my God. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.